Welcome everybody to Totally Online Gaming Group's 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign called The Blackest Heart. We're glad you could join us. We're waiting a little bit here on a couple things. Got a couple players that are not in just yet because we've had to make some changes to how we do things. We are currently trying to use Google Hangouts because the program we normally use is not working. Alright. So right now I'm trying to connect in with one of my other players. Let's see if it will actually do this correctly here. Okay. Okay, close that. So, alright, so as I was saying while we're waiting for them... Oh, did it work?
Yes, I invited him.
That'll work. And that makes sense since you started the call.
I am the master. I decided when this call is over.
Alright, now I just need to figure out how to get everybody's screen to show at the same time so we've got people in the right locations, all your video feeds. So if you'll give me one moment on that.
I could finally quote so many times.
Okay, well, it looks like it is not. That is not something supported by Google Hangouts, where it actually has more than one person showing at a time. So this is going to be an interesting thing because we'll just have basically whoever's talking will be the one who's showing up. So I'll kind of switch back and forth between whoever is actually saying things, and they'll currently all be in Oak's window because that's where I set it up. All right.
I'm the master.
Yes. So that being said, first I need to check the sound. So everyone say something.
Real talk. Never thought it would be difficult to do an APA citation on a tweet.
Okay, so everything sounds good. So with that, we go to our announcements, and as always for our announcements, I throw it to you there, Jacob.
Alrighty, so as always, we are sponsored by our lovely, great, amazing, awesome shop friends, Critical Hit Gaming Supplies, where you can find all of your gaming needs for D&D or any tabletop game. They have dice bags, dice sets, dice trays, gaming mats, and gaming miniatures. If there's a miniature that's not on the store that you do want, send a message to their contact information through their Contact Us. It's in between the My Account and Cart. And you should be able to check to see if they have the miniature you are looking for. As well as, I'm pretty sure we still have it going on, the TOGG 15 to get 15% off of any purchase. TOGG 15.
All right, and thank you for that, Jacob. So, being this is our regular stream, we do have to go through our other announcements, so I want to give a shout out to all the members of Team Spock, the Spock Nation. A whole bunch of great people on there, great streamers, a lot of small streams, and great community out there. Where Spock himself, great person, he really likes to help all the small streamers starting out and get them through up to affiliate and help them to grow so that they can hopefully someday realize their dreams of just being a professional streamer. and everyone on there is real friendly, real nice. A lot of great people. Met a lot of wonderful people on there, including, I want to give a shout out to, I don't know if they're in just yet. No, they said they'd pop on later, but I'm going to give a shout out to Mumuzu and Young Mac, who I've been hanging out with a lot in their streams. They're some really great streamers. They play a lot of Apex Legends, and they were playing Minecraft together earlier today, and it was just a fun group of people to hang out with. If you go to Spock Stream and the Spock Nation, I guarantee you're going to find some really awesome people to hang out with. Go watch their streams and have a blast. Also, shout out to Aaron Discord server, which is a Discord server that is dedicated to TTRPGs and D&D in particular. They've got things for games that are looking for people. You can do play-by-post or over Discord or things like that. They've got discussions on the game, mechanics, rules, lore, you name it. Tons of great people who are passionate about role-playing games. So go ahead and check them out. That's ARRYN, Aaron Discord server. Other things for our announcements that are kind of exciting. I hesitate to jinx it, so I'm crossing my fingers and knocking on wood here, but the Tailspire has had a couple delays due to everything that's going on right now in the world. However, they put out an email just a couple days ago that said that this Friday is when the beta is going to be released. So hopefully, that being the case, we'll finally get our hands on it, and I'll get to play around with it. And if that turns out to be as good as it looks, then eventually we may be transitioning to that for our games, which, if you haven't had a chance to see what that looks like, just type in Tailspire into Google and start watching some videos. It's really cool. So kind of looking forward to that. Also, still waiting. Hopefully soon, should be another week or two at most, I think, for when the dice bags arrive. And once those get in and the dice are here as well, then we're going to be doing some giveaways. So you'll want to make sure you're tuning in for those. As soon as we get those in, I will tell you when our giveaways are going to be. So I'll make sure that you guys have that information. And I'm looking forward to doing those giveaways. And we may have just gotten someone else in. Did we? Or nope, he just went away from the camera. So Alright, so let's see. I don't think there's any other announcements at this time. So that being the case, without further ado, we bring you The Blackest Heart. Alright, and we are back. So, to refresh my players and you, the audience, of where we left off, last week, the players were specifically Oak, Diana, and Jacob were at the Redstone Manor. They were doing some pre-Masquerade Ball scouting and info gathering, and a little bit of sneaking around, too. They managed to find some decent information by speaking with Lady Redstone, as well as walking around, getting a tour of the facility, kind of getting a lay of what the manor's layout was, and even finding some interesting rooms and items that weren't necessarily what they expected. One of those items in particular being at the very end of the session, where Jacob managed to find a very interesting book that was written in some kind of odd language, just a bunch of different symbols and caricatures on the binding that he didn't recognize as a language, but had seen one place before on a stone tablet that he had found in a bookstore. And when pulling that book out and looking at the cover, he saw that same caricatures of language and symbols, and then in common underneath it, the words, "the language of the ancients." And in addition to that, our young Rhea was out and about in the town. And I'm not going to say exactly what she was doing, because she was doing it secretly. And it may or may not come out. Who knows? We'll find out. But that is basically where we left off. The party, their whole goal, again, this is more for the audience because I know the players know this, is they are attempting to steal the knuckle bones of St. Aurelius from Redstone Manor, where they believe it to be held, being that the Redstones are collectors of beautiful artwork and oddities. And so they're attempting to find it, locate it, and then eventually steal it, most likely during the Masquerade Ball. So, that's where we are at. Are there any questions from you guys?
No.
Not yet.
All right. Well then, let's get back to the action here, and let me put you over on the screen that you are actually on.
Musicians are brought to you by Critical Hit Gaming Supply. I'm very tired, y'all.
All right. And that is where you guys are currently located. And let me turn that volume on that music down just a hair. There we go. So there you guys are. At least that's where Oak and Diana are, and for those who are watching, Rhea's token is just there because that way she could kind of see as a player what was going on with the others, since she was kind of off doing her own thing and didn't really get a chance to participate in what was happening here because she elected to go off on her own. So Hrim is there, Oak is there, Diana is there, and over next to them, and Rhea is not really there, but she is, and next to them is Lady Redstone, right there. And then down over here,
Sneaky.
we see one of Jacob's flock of familiars, which he cast when they came into the manor.
Well, you guys can see it. I can't.
Well, no,
I'm
you,
sorry.
yeah, you can't see it. But one of Jacob's familiars, because he cast flock of familiars prior to coming here, casting the find familiar spell to change him into basically like a tarantula. And so flock of familiars, he's got 3 more of these things, not counting Harim, so 4 in total, that are making their way around as best they can the manor. And then Jacob, you are actually still downstairs. And once I get loaded,
Hey, there we are.
you are over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have just found the language of the ancients book. So that's basically where we're at right now.
All right. Jacob is going to, following the kind of direction that Prim up top that's with Oak and Diana is going to look up towards. Oh goodness, are they within 100 feet of me?
Let's see here. You are right here.
I'm sorry, 120 feet.
Let's see. You are right here. That is where that is. No, because they're up and at an angle. Yeah, so they're a decent ways away.
Stupid big house.
Yep, very large house.
Okay. Is there anything else in the book other than the common writing of language of the ancients?
When you look a little closer at it, underneath the common. And what languages do you speak? Without casting any spells?
Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Okay. You see in smaller print several other languages underneath, and you recognize the Elvish, the Dwarven, the Sylvan. You recognize these other ones that you know, and they all have their version of the translation of the language. Like the Elven one actually is literally translated from Elf to Common, would actually be Olden Tongue, and the dwarf one translated, literally translated directly over, would be something along the lines of Speech of Elders. So they're all slightly different, but saying basically the same kind of thing. It's just the nuances in the language.
All right. What to do? Oh no. He's going to set the book down on the table, regrettably so. Just for now. Has an hour passed yet?
Not quite. You guys have been. I mean, the tour's taken some time, but it's really only about the 45-minute point at this point in time. And right now, let me see here. Where exactly are all your familiars right now? Your flock.
Well, one is up there with Diana and Oak. One is upstairs in the spiral staircase, and then one is in that back hallway where all those extra guest rooms were at.
Okay. So let's see. How far away are you? Okay. I'm going to say give me a perception check with disadvantage.
All right. Perception check with disadvantage. Is it for one of the...
It's your perception check. All right. So, you can kind of faintly hear a kind of a sound. I don't know if could you actually hear that?
I could.
Okay. Jacob, could you hear that when I did that?
I think he may be frozen.
He might be. I don't know. I hear him. Oh,
There we
I don't
go.
know
There we
what's going
go.
on with the camera, but
okay.
yes, I did hear the sound.
Okay, so you did hear the sound. So you heard a slight thumping sound, which, based on your wonderfully perfect memory of yours, in kind of the innate sense of direction that goes along with that and everything, you reason that it sounded like it came from near the front door, in that general direction.
Right. I'm going to send Green Boy around and make his way to the front.
Okay, you can go ahead and move him there, as you will.
He's gonna hide in that corner because he's like, what's going on?
Okay, let me just move this out a little bit so everyone can see. Alright, so, yep, you put him all the way down over here.
Yep.
And while that that noise happens again, and let's see if I can find... I just need a generic icon here. So I'm just gonna grab something. Alright.
Trim.
Alright, so I just grabbed a generic icon. This is not actually what it looks like, but you see through the green spider's eyes. The butler comes and approaches the door, opens it up, and then on the other side of the door, he answers it. He talks to someone, and then ushers them in. And you see a familiar face. You recognize Captain Jackson Eagle.
Whoa.
Gasp.
And,
Jacob just audibly,
and the butler says, yes, right this way. And together, they make their way, moving along.
Boy's gonna follow.
Okay. And eventually, they head all the way up the stairs.
Upstairs.
And then, let me switch over.
Man, imagine watching a just tarantulas walking around on the floor.
Fortunately, no one's paying that much attention to it.
I like to imagine that since they're Harim's children, that they're not quite as big as a tarantula, just like maybe like a little smaller.
Maybe a
Like,
little
And then
smaller.
Harim is like the bigger one, and he's just like, I'm the papa of these beautiful spider babies.
Alright, so now up on the second floor, and let me move you over to that. Yoink. There we go.
Excuse me.
Alright, and you find your the spider finds himself kind of hanging out in the entryway as the butler says, please, sir, have a seat. I shall be right back. And the butler comes through these doors into the gallery where, when we had left off, Oak and Diana, along with the one of the tag-along spiders, were actually looking, because this entire area, even though I didn't populate it with all this stuff, is filled with like display cases and paintings and tapestries and things on the walls and just absolutely gorgeous looking art everywhere. And you guys were kind of examining all that, so you're kind of probably spread around the room a little bit, looking at different things.
Specifically looking for
You broke up a second
something
there.
that looked like bones.
Okay.
It's specifically, yeah, bones.
All right. So you're looking for something that looks like bones, which makes sense since that's your goal. Well, while you were looking for that, you notice, you don't even have to roll for it. You notice the butler come in. As the doors kind of open wide, and he walks through, and he goes and steps up next to Lady Redstone, and kind of bends close to her and whispers a little bit, says something, and then she looks to you in the room and says, pardon me, I have some business to attend to. It shan't take long. Please feel free to continue to peruse my lovely collection. I'm being a little immodest here, but I think it is probably the finest in the land, and not one that many people, except a chosen few, get to see. So please, take your time and enjoy. And then, I didn't want the rug, thank you.
Goodbye, rug.
Yeah, stupid rug. So then the butler and the Lady Redstone head back through here, come into here, and then a little while later,
just as they leave, Oak is just gonna like pretend he's vomiting because he hates the way she was being so like narcissistic about herself and her collection.
so you're kind of like gagging a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, you see a short while later, Lady Redstone and a familiar-looking dwarf. One you recognize clearly as Captain Jackson Eagle.
See, this is where we need Diana right now because Oak really shouldn't talk.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we're still waiting on Diana and on Rhea. On Rhea, I haven't heard from Rhea, so I don't know.
I haven't heard from her either.
Yeah, for those watching, Diana got a little extra hours at work unplanned, and so she is resting because she didn't get a lot of sleep. So hopefully she will be popping in here in not too much longer. She's, I know she wants to be here tonight, but we'll just have to wait and see. So you do notice, though, Captain Jackson Eagle and the Lady Redstone, and they walk off. And let me make sure everyone can see where we're at. Yep, there you go. They walk off in this direction. Not the carpet. It just loves grabbing that carpet.
I like to think
the conversation that happened.
It's actually alive. It's just trying to follow. It's the lady of the house.
Was there any type of conversation in that room?
Note? Yes, because your spider was in there. That's true. So as you, when they first stepped in there, your spider would have heard the following. Ah, milady, good to see you. I have something for you. And the lady's eyebrow peeks up, and she goes, "You managed to acquire it without any incident?" And he says, "Well, a small scuffle, nothing more. But yes, I have it here with me." And you see, the spider, I should say, sees him produce from kind of underneath his very flamboyant kind of cape that he's got partially wrapped around him. He pulls out this wooden box. It's a very finely polished dark wood with like a golden trim, almost like gilded, on there, and very, very nice looking box. That's about a foot wide by, maybe like 8 inches deep, and then 4 or 5 inches thick. He shows it to her, and she looks at it, and she opens it up, and now from your vantage point on the floor, you can't really see up into it, but she opens it up, and she looks and smiles, closes it, and hands it back to him, and says, "Ah, well, I have other guests, so if you wouldn't mind holding on to this until we are able to place it where it belongs." And he says, "But of course, my lady." And so he once again takes hold of it, puts it under his robe yet again, and then they start walking through the gallery, and that's when you notice, when Oak, you notice Captain Jackson Eagle and the lady, and they make their way over towards the door on the far right side, and then the door opens, and then they end up walking through. And then after they get through, the door closes behind them. So that's all you see of them at that point. Now, Jacob looks like his screen might be frozen again.
I don't know what's going on. Camera's kind of dropping in and out.
Okay. Did you hear everything, though?
I did hear everything. I wanted to say Green Boy followed as best as he could.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
Can do. That is... I gotta actually do one of these rolls. Give me a second. Where's Jacob on this map? Is Jacob on this map? Oh, no.
No. Jacob is on the map below.
Gotcha. I got him. 4.
Okay.
13 on stealth.
Okay.
No, a giant spider, kill it.
You know that?
Okay. All right. You managed to get close enough. Don't have Green Boy right here. Nope.
Is that a second red boy?
Nope. That is a
Now it's
green.
Green
That
Boy.
is a Green Boy.
It was a Christmas
So,
boy for a second there.
You managed to, as the door is being closed, slip in there with them.
Yes.
So you can now see in that room with your glorious little familiar friend.
Cool. He's gonna just kind of just try to get to the side of the couch and just look and listen.
Okay.
I had a really funny idea.
Okay.
So are any of the things that are being displayed in the room Oak is in, like, are any of them covered in like glass or something?
Yes, there are several that are in glass cases.
Okay.
Like they're on a
Well,
pedestal, and then the top half is like a finely crafted glass, so you can easily see from all
yeah.
angles. Yeah.
Oak. Because he's a disaster boy, and I love him so. And I get to release all of my unbridled authority figure rage in him. He's gonna go up to one of the things covered in glass.
Okay.
He's gonna lick his hand, and he's gonna put his hand on the glass.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
And he's gonna do it again and again for like all the anything he can get to, because he's just like, God damn it, I hate this place. But he's also kind of just gonna be investigating to see if there's anything interesting.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
You can do it. You do great.
You are fascinated by this handprint that you've created. It actually looks kind of like, if you lick your finger and you kind of draw a little round piece on the end of this fingertip and then some straight lines on it. It looks like, what's that animal called? A turkey?
Oh my goodness.
And so you're staring at your makeshift turkey on the glass of this display case.
Good job, Oak.
Now, your spider hears the lady say, I shall be right back. And she takes off and goes through the door up to the north.
Alright.
And just a couple minutes later, she comes back and she plops down a small chest that is larger than the box and opens it up. And even from the angle on the floor, because the chest is kind of sitting right on the edge of the table, you can see that it is filled to the brim with what looks like gold and maybe some platinum and some gems. And she says, "Are you satisfied?" And Captain Eagle says, "More than you know." He takes the box out, sets it on the table, and then closes the chest, grabs it, tucks it as best he can under one arm, which it's kind of awkward due to its size. It's not a huge chest, but it's larger than that box. A little awkward due to its size, but he's a dwarf. He's plenty stocky and strong enough, so he's able to carry it. And he takes his cloak and kind of pulls it over to kind of cover over that arm, kind of like the cloak riding on the side of you, dashing look.
Mm-hmm.
Except he's got this chest underneath it. And he says, "I shall see myself out, milady. Thank you. I appreciate the business." And he walks off back into there. And you see
the second
Oh, go ahead.
He opens the door, and like if he notices anything, he's gonna see Oak with his hand on the glass. And Oak, like once Oak sees him, like they make direct eye contact, and then Oak just hides his hand behind his back.
The captain actually kind of laughs and looks over at you and says, "Fancy seeing you here. What are you doing?" "And you as
Nothing.
well," as he addresses Diana. "And you as well. What are you doing this evening?" Or I should say
Nothing.
this day.
And Oak is just trying to be, like suspicious. Like he's not trying to be suspicious, but
He's trying to be suspicious.
Yeah.
no, he's like he's trying to act nonchalant, but he's actually really acting really super suspicious because he doesn't know how to act. Well, one, Diana's probably not talking. And um so Oak, Oak is the one who has to do talking right now, and that'll always lead to a disaster. And Oak knows he can't blow their cover right now, so he's just gonna play dumb.
He says, "And you?" turns to Diana. And Diana just kind of smiles at him and says, "It's a pleasure to see you again, Captain. I hope things are going well." And he says, "Very well. Your friend is guarding my ship tonight. Young Galder is quite the sailor, and
Young.
No, he is young.
he is young.
I don't know.
He's quite the sailor. Got some sturdy sea legs, all 4 of them."
And then Oak, underneath his breast, says, "Seahorse."
Oh, jeez.
If Diana isn't here to perpetuate the joke, then Oak will.
Fair enough.
And he says, "I hope you haven't any plans this evening. I may be able to arrange for some entertainment, as I am a VIP and can get into this ball they're having tonight, if you guys need entry." And Diana says, "Oh, not a worry. We are already on the list." He kind of looks a little taken aback for a second and says, "My. I move quickly in social circles. Very well, I shall see you tonight then. I have other business to attend to, so I'll let your friend know that you are still in town." And he takes off.
Oak is kind of just thinking to himself, what are these socials and why are they in circles? He's not saying it out loud, he's just thinking that.
Okay. Now, Jacob's green boy.
Green boy.
You notice that the lady now opens the wooden box, this dark polished wood box. Opens it again. And this time she reaches in and she pulls out this. It looks like it barely fit in the box. A stone tablet.
No.
And she looks at it, turns it, smiles, and then, carrying it, walks directly over to this wall. Places her hand against the wall. You're not
Underneath the couch to look.
okay. Give me a perception check then.
Oh boy. Come on, Spider Boy, do me well. Oh.
You're not sure exactly what she does. She touches the wall somewhere. And all of a sudden a door slides open and she walks through.
Spider Boy's gonna attempt to follow.
Okay, I'm gonna need a stealth check.
Alright, that one.
Yeah, he froze. The camera froze up on him again. Oh, but there we go. Oh, wow. Yep. You managed to slip through just as the door is about to close. And you can see what's in there. As far as your vision can see, anyway.
Oh no.
The lady then walks to another door on the opposite side and walks through.
Spider Boy will continue to try to follow.
Okay.
I give Spider Boy advantage.
Okay, so you're gonna skip Spider Boy. So you advantage on your stealth check if you want to use it.
Awesome. It's still very convoluted to roll, so just give me a second.
Sure.
That's one.
That's one.
And that's two.
Okay. Well, that second one you don't need to worry about then, because the 21 stands. So you managed to follow through as she then goes down a hallway to another door.
He's gonna try and do it again.
All right. And hold on, let me just make sure that the map is moving along so that everyone else can follow along with what is happening.
Aside from me.
Except for those who are not in the area to see. That is correct.
I'll just watch on the stream.
Can Blue Boy and Green Boy tell that they're kind of close to each other?
Only if you were currently linked with them. So if you linked up to Green at the same time as Blue, then you could kind of communicate with them.
Okay.
But other than that, they can't just innately tell.
Am I close enough to Blue Boy to link?
Yeah.
Yeah, well then I'm...
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And then she passes through another door.
He's gonna try again.
All right.
Here we go. Come on. Please don't fail me. 16.
Okay. So he manages to make it into this room. And in the previous room before the hallway and in the current room, both times that the lady passed through, those that you see in there stood at attention and just kind of gave a slight bow. Milady, milady, milady. Yeah. And she kind of smiled and nodded back. And she walks across all the way to another door, actually over here.
Okay. Here we go. We gonna attempt it. Spider Boy, don't fail me, please. You're doing great, Green Boy.
Spider Boy does whatever a Jacob can.
Jacob actually is a little more stealthier than the spider is.
Okay. She goes through this door, and as your spider is moving up this way behind her, she doesn't notice it, but this guard comes over and goes, damn vermin! And what is the armor class on this guy? Yep. He basically just stomps him flat.
No.
So
What did he hit?
you have lost one.
Oh no!
Did it beat a 12?
And this guy here comes over and says, better clean that up before she sees.
Oh, it just...
Yep. He got stomped, so your vision went black.
Alright. But I know locations of doors. Alright, okay.
So, now, back in here.
Oak is still putting on his hands on the glass.
Okay.
All of the glass.
Okay. And not doing anything else. And no one's heard anything else from
Nope.
from Rhea or Diana yet. Okay. So,
I mean, I can...
yeah, you can try to contact.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. They might not have Discord up. I don't know. So, all right. So, while you're in there, you basically, Oak, spend probably a good, I don't know, a good 10 minutes, just kind of investigating and looking around, and mostly investigating your handprints on the glass, uh, before the lady finally gets done with whatever it was she was dealing with, and makes her way back to the rest of the group here. I'm trying to get her moved all the way up there.
And not the carpet.
And not the carpet, yeah. Before she finally makes her way, coming back through the door on the right side there of the hall.
And Oak immediately takes his hand back and like he's going to scratch his head instead of place it on on the glass again.
And she says, as she comes in, she comes over to Diana and says, Your Highness, it was a pleasure to have your company, and I wish that I could offer more hospitality, but it is getting later, and there are many preps I must do for the party, and I completely understand that, you yourself, I'm sure, have things to attend to prior to the events this evening as well. So I will not take up any more of your time, either, and if I can, may I escort you to the front? And Diana kind of looks at her for a second. Was like, okay. I appreciate your hospitality. We shall go. And we will see you this evening. And
Isn't it
yes.
tomorrow evening?
Yes. Sorry, tomorrow evening.
Haha.
Yeah.
So she escorts you all to the front door. Yoink.
Boop.
Now, as they're coming down, Jacob, you've had a little bit of time yet, still in the library while kind of a lot of this is going on. One moment. Okay.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm good.
Oh, okay. So you've had some time in the library while all the events were going on up there. Probably a good 10 minutes. So,
Okay.
what are you doing?
Honestly, 10 minutes might just cast Identify on the book of agents.
Okay.
The agent's book.
Okay. It appears to just be when you cast Identify. It's not magical, but it is just a very, very old book. It's in very good condition for its age, but this book itself is probably a couple hundred years old.
Okay. And since that only takes a minute, I'll spend the rest of the 9 minutes just kind of skimming it and seeing if there's any information that seems useful.
Okay. I would say give me either history or straight intelligence, whichever. If you have history, you can roll that. If not, straight intelligence.
Well, good thing, literally Jacob's only thing is all intelligence.
Yep.
And dex. 1 dex. He is a stealthy boy.
Okay.
15.
Okay. So you spend basically about 9 minutes, with, or so, going through the book. It's not a lot of time. Um, you're you're having some trouble uh, figuring out, because most of this book, as you're reading through it, and skimming through, it doesn't seem to be Duolingo. This is not a let me teach you how to speak this language.
Right.
This is a history on this strange language that was discovered. Examples of it, examples of what they think they've translated from it, the history of what was discovered, those kind of things, and that just kind of skimming through. That's the information you get as far as what kind of stuff it's covering and what it's looking at. But as far as what the actual language is and how it translates, you really haven't had enough time to figure that much out. You have figured out maybe a couple words and how they are meant to be translated based on some of the examples that are in there, but these definitely match up with the symbols on the tablet that you got in the bookstore. So that's all you can really figure out in about that short a time. And yeah, he froze again.
It's very strange because it's only on this call, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I can still hear everything that you say.
That's good then.
What I was asking is, when Green Boy saw the tablet that the Lady Redstone had,
Mm-hmm.
was it similar to his? Not symbol-wise, but just structure, how it kind of looks.
It looked like the same kind of stone, as far as you could tell. It looked in better condition.
That would make sense.
But yeah, I mean, it's about approximately the same size. Same kind of stone. Didn't seem to have as many chips or broken parts of it, but yeah, that's as best you can tell.
All right, and then well, that's 10 minutes.
Yep. And when that occurs, that 10 minutes, that's when the lady, Redstone, and Diana, and your other Crims, and I don't see Oak on the lower level here. Oh, there it is. There's Oak. Okay.
'Twas hiding.
Yes. That's when all them who are over there, they end up in the main hall.
Okay.
And the lady looks at Diana and says, "Oh, your scholar. I quite forgot. Reginald. And then the butler. Once again, I'm just going to use a random icon for him.
If Jacob can, if any of the spiders see or hear what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob is just gonna go ahead and place the book back exactly where he got it from.
Okay. And the butler comes in. Yes, milady. Can you please go and fetch the Highness's scholar friend out of the library, so that they may depart? We've kept them long enough. He says, "Right away, milady." And he takes off and heads over there to go pick you up. And you're able to, without really any trouble, uh, go, oh, time to put the book back, and able to get it put away exactly where you'd found it.
Clear.
And
And then I will walk away from that book, grab a random book off of the shelf, and just act as if I'm reading it.
okay. The butler comes in then and says, yes, sir. Your party is departing. I was sent to fetch you.
Oh, thank you. Do you know exactly where I can put this book back?
No worries. I shall take care of that myself. However, you may leave it right there and follow me. I shall escort you to the main hall where the others are waiting.
Alrighty. On the way.
Mhm.
Ooh, do I do this?
I don't know, do you?
I'm thinking about it. Hmm.
Trying to steal another book?
Oh, not yet. But I might do something different. I'm gonna message you real fast, Oak.
Ooh.
Ooh, intrigue.
You can just answer yes or no. You don't have to type.
Yeah, but I've got a question too.
No, no.
But that's what I think of when you say that word, okay? It is a fair comparison.
You're right, but specifics. They go with that.
Yeah, you should do that.
Okay. As we're walking, if the butler isn't directly looking at me, I'm going to go ahead and do my fun, nifty little minor conjuration.
Okay.
I'm going to make a nice looking, like the tablet that I have, but better looking.
Mm-hmm.
Same, like, I'm going to try to jumble up whatever symbols are on it in just different spots, so it doesn't look like it's exact.
Okay.
And I will hold it to myself and basically because I do have like a scholar's bag, basically have it to where it's jutted out purposely.
Can I get another friend?
Okay, so it's like not being, it's like hidden but not hidden type thing.
Yeah,
Is that true? Okay.
it's like, oh, it's just there. How did that get there? Kind of thing.
Okay. And so you're just gonna kind of be holding onto it, sticking out of your robes a little bit, basically.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And then you're going to just follow along after him as he leads you back to the front entryway. Did we lose him again? Oh, okay.
Sorry. Just making sure it was working.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I will do.
All right. So, you all managed to make it back to the front entryway. And you come here, and the butler basically walks to the front doors to open them up as you step in here. And let's just see if she notices. Okay. Alright, so I need a perception check from everyone who's there.
Alrighty. Oh boy.
Haha.
Okay. Wow, Oak.
Let's roll for time.
Okay, so Oak, you notice that the Lady Redstone, as she sees Jacob approach, her eyebrows kind of go up and her eyes go wide a little bit. And then she immediately kind of regains her composure and continues to act as if nothing out of the ordinary has happened, and walks next to Diana with you two in tow to the door, where the butler opens a door, and she once again says, "Once again, it was such an honor, Your Highness, for you to visit my humble home, and I cannot wait to see you and yours tomorrow evening at the ball. It should be a wonderful occasion. I hope you will enjoy." And Diana kind of gives a slight nod of the head in acknowledgement, as you almost feel like you're being pushed, but not physically being pushed, out the door. And you find yourselves without the lady in tow, back outside, and that includes... Well, it's not like a physical push. It's...
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just like you're being verbally encouraged in a nice manner to leave.
Did it seem when she walked back by that you put any notion towards what I have?
You didn't notice any reaction out of her.
Okay.
You didn't notice anything.
Okay.
Yep. You're unfortunately you must have been too preoccupied looking at Diana in that dress.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Denial.
Yeah.
What even here?
All right. So you are now outside of the Redstone Manor. And what are you guys gonna do next?
Well, I'm gonna try and get Diana in on the call, but...
Oh, yeah, I see she's there.
I totally had nothing to do with anything that happened.
Oh, yeah, no, same.
All right.
There's only maybe 4 calls. Just kidding. 2.
All right. And anything yet? We're waiting to see if we get Diana in the call here, so that that way we're only missing one, which I have no idea where Rhea is and why she's not here, but... Alright.
Can say very interested. I want that book. I'm gonna find a way to get that book.
I figured you would be pretty keen on that thing.
I'm keen on the tablets. I'm gonna steal everything. Or am
I don't know. Depends on whether you are or not.
Very true. Very true.
Alright, so your plans now, and how long does that conjuration of yours last? Like an hour?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it is, by the time you have finished all this, like I said, in total you spent probably about an hour in the manor. And I mean, it was just enough time that pretty much shortly after you walk out, the only familiar left is Hrim, because the others poof, because they're only there for an hour. So the rest of them disappear. So Hrim is the only one left with you. and he is currently a spider. And it is right now. It's approaching lunchtime, midday. So, what do you wish to do at this point in time?
Jacob's gonna leisurely just continue his walk away from the building. In hopes that when we get back to the horses and we head back to where we are staying, everything is going to be a-okay. Apologies if I freeze up.
Any luck there, Oak?
Nope. Maybe we should try Discord.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we may as well switch over to Discord, since we can't have all the video at once anyway. It won't do that.
Right.
So we're going to make a quick switch to Discord for voice and video. So we'll be here, but let's just go ahead and cancel out the Google Hangouts call. So for all of you watching, this shouldn't take more than like 30 seconds pretty much. So
Here we go.
I'll see you guys again in just a moment. Alright, so
Hello.
hello. There we go.
Shalom.
Alright, so now we should have everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry I woke you up.
Hey.
Yeah, we missed you.
I've done nothing.
Hang on, I need my fucking headphones. Babe.
I did nothing to cause you to wake up. You have no proof.
I didn't do anything. You can't prove anything. There's.
I'm just kind of like, I told y'all I was gonna be late because I needed sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get 3 phone calls, 2 messages, 3 tags.
One message was a very funny gif, okay?
It's still the duped.
You have to admit, it was very interesting.
I get an hour.
So, what have I missed?
So basically, well, you guys can explain. Go ahead.
So, are we not live right now?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
are. Okay. Hi.
You're so tired.
I'm so sleepy.
I'm sorry. So, in character talk, because
Yeah, I zoned out a lot of that. I only remember Oak putting his hand directly on the glass on some of the displays because he hates authority.
so I found
What?
You remember we were in the room with the display cases? Was it a yes or a no?
Yeah.
Okay, so there were a bunch of display cases, you know, with glass, and Oak decided that he would put his hand on a lot of them. and
I
make them
was
all-
gone for an hour.
yeah, things happened.
Yep.
Did you get us kicked out?
No.
Kind
We were
of.
being shoved out, kind of, by the lady of the house.
Because I had an idea to just like, fuck you guys.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was
Um,
gone for an hour.
Yeah. No, they didn't actually. Their antics didn't get you guys kicked out. The and some important information that you would have noticed at one point in time is that while you were up there in the gallery of the lady's private collection, which she was obviously very proud of, the butler appeared and went and spoke to her quietly while you and Oak were basically kind of investigating, looking at all the different pieces of art as if you were really interested in the art when you're actually investigating to see if you notice any knuckle bones anywhere.
And Oak made a hand turkey on the glass.
Yep. And while you're doing your investigation, the butler comes in and kind of whispers something to the lady, and she excuses herself, goes into kind of that entry room right before the gallery, in there for a few moments, and then comes walking back in with the familiar face of Captain Jackson Eagle.
What the fuck was that?
He was the captain.
Captain of the Harbinger, the ship that you guys took.
Wait, so do we not have Kitty tonight?
I haven't been able to get
Apparently
hold of her. Haven't heard any word from her.
Okay, because I'm sitting here like, why is there only 3 of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, how did you manage to get us kicked out in an hour?
I didn't get us kicked out.
Nope. Because as I was saying,
No one got kicked out.
nope. Because as I was saying that he walked with the lady. They went through another set of double doors on another side of the room. Went through there, and one of Jacob's familiars in spider form managed to sneak along with them,
Green boy that.
where some stuff happened that the spider saw, and Jacob will
Okay,
have
but
to
can you just
have
tell
to impart
me-
to you guys. But Jacob will have to impart to you guys.
Is he
What
fucking
happened?
the lady of the house?
Huh?
Nothing.
No, you don't think he was in there quite long enough, because it was.
Hey, I've met some people who work at the home shop. Just because it was quick doesn't mean it was good.
Let me guess. It was.
Please, I don't want to hear about it.
It was. Hey, baby, I'm gonna give you all 9 inches. 3, 6, 9. Okay, I'm done.
Pretty much.
Understand it?
Let me just say I was not proud of how I lost my vision.
Oh,
It
boy.
happens.
All
So-
right. Yes. So now basically the lady though at one point came back in and made some apologies that you saw the captain leave not long after he arrived. He was there for a few minutes in private and then left. And then the lady about 10 minutes later comes back and makes some excuses of, sorry, I have much to do to prepare for, the festivities tomorrow evening, and I'm sure, you're so, you're busy, Your Highness, as well, so I won't keep you any longer, and basically kind of ushers you guys out of the house in the politest manner she can, without saying, but at the same time kind of implying, get the fuck out.
Okay, so are the spiders still inside?
No, because
One of them was crushed.
one got crushed, which I'm sure Jacob will tell you all about, and the rest of them, you've now spent about an hour, which is the duration of the spell,
Aw.
and they have vanished. So the only one left now is the original rim for you guys. So that's it.
And I had an idea. Fuck you guys.
It's not our fault.
So
I'm so tired.
Okay.
you'll be fine. You'll make it. Don't worry. There's only about an hour and a half left of game, and then you can go back to
Sorry.
sleep.
You got it. So on the way back to our lovely inn, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, and I feel bad.
It's the apple cart.
Do I have that written down?
I've got it.
Don't have that written down.
And I'm sad because I was gonna have Diana be like, you know what? Here's the thing. You're a smart lady. And you seem to understand how things work. And Diana was just gonna be frank with her.
Oh.
And be like, here's the deal, this is what we're doing, we kind of need this.
If Diana gets to be Frank, then what does Oak get to be?
Silent.
Well, fair enough. But so on the way back, so discovered something very nice with the lovely captain and Lady Redstone.
Are they banging?
No.
I'm sorry.
What?
And Oak just sighs, and he's just like, Diana, not every relationship is like that.
Every good relationship is.
No!
Yes.
Oh no. But what happened is he found something inside of a chest, and they brought it back into their back room meeting hall thing. It had a bunch of chairs. It had a similar rug of rugs. And
Get
that
to
one.
the point, Jacob.
I'm sorry. There's a lot in the spiral staircase that we went up. That I went up.
In the room, same rugs, brought a chest.
Okay. Inside the chest was like a tablet thing that's very similar, and he like holds out the little fully made one with jumbled letters, and then his actual one out, kind of like these, and then he puts them back. She was very, very interested in that, and had a chest full of gold, platinum, and gems just for one of these. And then she went through these secret passages, which I managed to follow with one of the boys, of the little spiders, and
The boys.
The boys.
the boys, the green boys, that's the boy. And managed to find a room that was fairly large, and then a hallway. And when I was in that hallway, the spider that went up the spiral staircase at the beginning seemed to be on the other side of it somehow. And then I saw a door in that room that led into that spiral room, and maybe could be used to go through. And then followed it and went into another room, and then she went into a different room that he got crushed before he could get into it. So I think I have an idea of what we're doing.
That was so convoluted just to say you found out where the bones might be.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, and the really cool book seemed to have the same language as what's on these tablets.
You really could have just said, hey, I found a secret passage that might take us to the Knuckles. So much shorter.
Fair enough. I'll remember that for next time. Anyway.
Do you know how to actually open the passage?
That is a good question.
You had one job, Jacob.
What? It's a spider on the ground. What do you expect?
Spiders can go on walls and ceilings and pull things.
It was very quick. The door was gonna shut if I didn't go.
She's got a point, Jacob.
What?
Oak is nodding.
He's just like petting Spider Friend's head, who's just looking sad.
Can I help you, Cooper? I have a very demanding doggo. Very demanding.
All right. So, back to the apple cart.
I am so out of it.
Yes.
So, yeah, you head back to the apple cart.
Why an apple cart?
Because Oak made a comment about an apple cart at one point, and Jason decided to go with it.
Yep. That is the name of the inn.
Okay.
and I hate it.
Oh, the inn is called the Apple Cart. I thought y'all were talking about like a legitimate apple cart. I was so
Nope.
confused.
Nope.
No, we're going to the actual apple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I just
So-
love making things that Oak hates.
so
Especially
you found a
stupid
secret
accents.
passage. Found a secret passage that might lead to where the bones are, but you're not 100% certain. You weren't able to check any other rooms that might be in the manor aside from the one up the staircase because there was no door. So we have literally nothing to go off of.
Well, if we can get into that spiral room,
You mean the room that you is guarded constantly on top of leading to a secret passage you don't know how to open.
well, no, that one, I think... I know where the door is from
Knowing
one...
where the door is doesn't mean it opens.
Well, you can always brute force a door.
Unless there's a magical seal on it, or did you forget this, Mr. Sorcerer?
Well, I'm not a sorcerer, for one.
Whatever,
Thank you
you use the
very
magics.
much.
You use the magics.
Well, have you know it is very different. I study for my skills. I'm not handed it.
Okay, so you have to do homework before you can do your magic. Got it.
I love tired Diana. This is
Me
great.
too. Yes.
Leave me alone.
No, we love it.
Well, either way,
Take their shit and it's great.
either way, I mean, we can get them there, and it would be a faster way to...
Okay, just one problem. What if the knuckle bones aren't in there?
Oh,
Then what?
then...
Because I don't know how long this fucking masquerade thing's gonna last, let alone Rhea's fucking patience.
I hate to suggest this, but maybe I could talk to the lady of the house or whatever and get her to tell me stuff, maybe. She seems to like me.
Oak, let me put it in the most blunt of terms for you that you might understand, okay?
Oh, no.
If you go talk to the lady of the house, a private heir of yours is going to be too busy in her mouth because of what she wants.
I know, and I hate it. Dude, I
You're
know.
not even going to be able to get it up.
You know, I mean, I don't... Okay,
Jacob, just go read your book.
I don't have a book.
The grown-ups are talking.
I'm older than both of you.
Well, you guys are cracking
Jacob,
me
go
up.
read your book.
Okay, but in all seriousness, Oak, she has a physical attraction to you. She doesn't want to sit there and talk force or intellect or anything. She literally just wants to ride your dick, like you're a horse.
Like,
Well, okay. Maybe I could use that. We could use that to our advantage. And
Do you know how to flirt?
yes, I do.
Do you know how to seduce?
No.
Well, I know what I'm doing for the rest of the evening, I guess. Never thought I'd have to teach a person how to be horny.
Oh, jeez.
okay.
Like, I could distract her, and you guys go look around, and then, all that.
I mean, if somebody could open up a window, I could scurry around as a fox.
Or I could use beast sense and have a bird fly in the window, and then I wouldn't have to do any of that stuff.
I mean, I can move Prim up to the window and just teleport both of us into it.
That works too. Except, won't it teleport us to exactly where Prim is?
No, it's based off of his eyesight.
Oh.
What I can see, I can teleport to.
Oh!
And
If
then
that's
open a
the
window
case,
so I can climb in.
So, if that's the case, couldn't I just use clairvoyance to look through the secret passage? Because I have a relative idea where the door is.
Wait one. Let me double check that spell to make sure.
So I was also thinking maybe we could get the potentially
A place you have visited or seen before, or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar, such as behind a door, around a corner, or in a grove of trees.
Okay, well, let's see here.
And based on how
So
Jacob
you-
explained
so you
where
ha-
the chamber
yep.
is,
So you haven't seen it before, but if he explains it to you, explains the exact layout, and using the fact that you do have like basic floor plans, if he explains the exact layout of what he saw, then yes, you could do that.
haha.
Diana, do we still have the floor plans?
Don't act like this was your idea.
What? No. I'm not acting like it is. You said it
Yes,
aloud.
I still have the floor plans.
Okay.
Hey, be happy I'm actually trying to use the training you gave me. Mer.
No, well, yeah, I'm not opposed to. Just, all right. Let me see it. I'll start writing it down, or just transcribing it, or whatever. Just putting the pathway there.
Okay, I'm getting a drink because I'm chalking up her loopiness to the fact that she hasn't had alcohol in 24 hours.
That's definitely the case.
Look, she was never offered a drink when they got there, okay?
Oh, of course not. I mean, they gotta save all the alcohol for the party. Jeez.
They could have at least offered, like, juice or water or something of the
Juice.
like. She wasn't even offered, like, a snack.
She got a grand tour. That's the best she's getting. Best she's getting.
That's sad. To a princess? How dare you?
Oh, that's just how things played out.
I guess so. Whilst that's all happening, Oak.
Yeah.
So, I know you're gonna get some training for things. Do you want me to go and see if we get some extra help for this?
Or you don't have any other friends, Jacob.
Jacob's just gonna walk out.
Oak is laughing, by the way.
Jacob is going to walk out of the tavern. He's going to start heading to the location that the Frostbreakers said they were staying at.
Okay. Okay.
Diana's gonna go after him because it's like, why are you acting mopey about it?
It was extremely rude for no reason at all.
It's not rude if it's the truth. What, you think I'm not in the same boat as you? I literally have no other friends aside from a guy who talks to trees and a child who I'm pretty sure is arrested somewhere.
Well, I mean, Oak will follow them. Oak has come out of the tavern to follow them.
I was just going to go see if we can get some extra help for the heist in any capacity.
Who the hell are you gonna ask to help?
Well, I mean, the only other team that we've worked with?
That doesn't answer anything.
The Frostbreakers.
Oh, fuck no. We're not asking the fucking horny tiefling for help. With you waltzing into her goddamn bedchamber acting like la-di-da-di-da, why don't you help me? And batting your fucking eyes.
She's not in a place of... I don't
I
think
don't
she's
give a fuck.
in a place of that right
I
now.
wasn't in a mindset to want to fuck things either when I was 16, and yet there we were.
What?
What? Actually, but okay.
Oh, I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard.
I'm a look.
Welcome
One.
to Tired Dana Hours, where I have no filter and neither does Diana.
Look,
I like this, Diana.
Yeah, this is fun.
One, they recently had a loss of a team member that seemed to be very close to Mask, for one. And,
Am I supposed to feel sorry for her?
Yes, because I think they were dating.
Diana, yes, you should.
Okay, they were dating, and yet she was trying to suck Jacob's dick. How does that translate into any form of sense?
Well, you do know friends can act pretty flirtatious with each other. And O just looks at Jacob and Diana.
And she's just gonna look at him legitimately confused, going, is there an underlining meaning here?
And then...
Denial.
Look, all I'm saying is we do not need to ask them, of all people, for help.
Well, then who would you rather help?
Go ask the captain, seeing as we know he's in town. We did save his entire life and crew.
I don't think the captain's gonna...
And wouldn't that mean Galder's with him?
Well, yes, he was guarding the ship tonight.
So...
What I'm getting at is I don't think the captain's going to be a part of it because he specifically just got paid a lot of money from them.
Yes, but if he got paid a lot of money from them, that means he knows how their shit works.
But then that means we're gonna have to pay him a lot of money to tell us how to do stuff.
I don't know about you, but I
you don't have
a chest full of gold and platinum and gems.
Guys, he's a captain who's on the seas all the time, just sold a piece of artifact, and is probably feeling very good about himself. Meanwhile, I have tits and an ass.
Really, Diana?
Is it wrong?
I mean, no, you're not wrong, but can't we just do like an amicable conversation for once instead of going straight to sex?
How do you think I made a living for all of my life for me in my fucking caravan?
Apparently, it was the fucking caravan.
Like, I don't think you understand, before I met Jacob and I was with my caravan, just how much gold I made a week.
Oh, boy.
And I didn't even have to suck any dick. I just had to look pretty.
You also misunderstand that I don't understand the concept of money. So
Now, while you guys are talking, are you actually walking anywhere, or are you just standing in the street?
We're just walking throughout the town.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still making the walk towards the Frostbreakers Tavern.
I need all three of you to give me perception checks.
Do, 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 do.
What the fuck is my icon? Oh, there it is.
15. Do, do.
21!
Okay. Diana, you are
21.
the only one who notices this.
Is it because I got over a 20?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm out of it.
You think you see kind of down a very long alley, down towards the end of it, there seems to be some people gathered, some like sitting. What actually kind of draws your eye is you see some movement, and you hear a coughing, and your ears actually, it's not really so much what you see but what you hear, is your ears pick up these specific words, and I am going to send it to you as a whisper. Are you in roll 20?
I have to read.
Yeah.
I gotta read.
So I will be
happy my brain is functioning to a point of speech, okay?
So while I'm typing this whisper, you can continue to discuss, or you can do your
Here's the thing, though.
announcements.
Diana heard something. She's gonna stop and let her ears do the little twitchy twitch.
And then everyone else has got to stop to let her ears do the twitchy twitch and just wait for her to
Because she's essentially going to be standing there looking zoned out and perplexed, trying to figure out what the fuck she's hearing.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Oh, there goes Oak, running off into the crowd. Well, I guess we're just gonna stand here and wait.
Really, your first idea is go to mask.
Cool. Who else in town? I didn't know the captain was going to be in town. I thought about this a while ago.
Your
And I
first
didn't think
idea
about-
is to go to mask.
It's not going to Mask, it's going to that team. Mask is just a part of that team.
Your first idea was to go to the tiefling.
No. Do not want to go to the tiefling. Specifically, I'd like to avoid her if I could.
All right, so that whisper, that is what you hear, and then
Diana's legitimately just gonna roll her eyes and go, "Well, I know where Rhea is."
and
Oh, Rhea's doing her thing, ain't she?
and then you hear and again, it's just from your perception check. You hear in the same voice that said the first part. You hear a, "Oh shit," and then you see some movement as
Yeah, I know where Rhea is
And-
now.
one of the shadows that was kind of down that way is not there anymore. A shorter one.
Yeah, Diana's just gonna point down the alley and go, "I know where Rhea is."
Oh yeah. I knew she was doing stuff today.
Yeah, apparently she's trying to run around and get people to believe in something that doesn't exist.
It exists.
There's no such thing as gods.
I mean, I guess
I mean,
relatively, no.
not to me, but to her it might exist. So it's something that exists.
Let me put it this way. If it exists, why the fuck haven't they helped out yet by now?
Yeah,
Because we've been through a lot of difficult shit that could have really used some divine intervention.
well, I mean, I got saved by one.
When?
Frost.
Huh?
After I was knocked out, quite literally cold by some ice magic, and Rhea brought me back up.
I thought we agreed to never speak of that again.
Well, you asked, so
Let me guess. This is why you're going to the tiefling.
no.
She's gonna be huffy and just start walking away.
Look, I'm literally going to talk to the Dragonborn.
Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure those aren't the horns that caught your attention.
Jacob, just go see your friend, because I know you have friends other than us. I was just laughing at the comment because it was funny. Because I don't have friends either. I'll stay with Diana and make sure she doesn't explode.
Also, learn the thing from her. You might need it.
Okay.
Better yet, you can learn it from Mask. How about that?
Huh?
Jacob stormed
I
off.
legitimately spaced out. I'm sorry, what just happened?
Jacob stormed off.
I just stared at my computer screen for like 30 seconds and
Nice.
what legitimately what just happened?
Nothing needs repeated. Jacob storms off.
Yeah, Oak is still gotta stick with Diana, and they'll go back to the inn, or wherever she wants to go.
Well, no, she's just gonna look at Oak and go, "And you wonder why we're never a thing."
Yeah, because he is the problem.
Sick, Oak. Sick.
All right, so Jacob. You are heading off towards where the Frostbreakers are staying.
Yep.
And Diana and Oak, where exactly are you heading?
Eventually, she would have turned around and went after Jacob,
Okay.
begrudgingly,
Oak,
And
are you gonna
Oak
follow
will
them?
follow.
Pitching
Okay.
as loud as possible the entire way.
All right. So you continue on, and after about a good 45 minutes of walking, You finally arrive at an inn it's in a little bit of a seedier place in town. Just things are a little run down. Not necessarily the best kept up, but they're definitely sturdy buildings. This looks like it was probably more of the original structures of the city when it was smaller before it got big, as big as it did, and became, eventually the capital. So, this is kind of like the old city. So they're solid structures, and things are just a little run down, but mostly it's really just due to age. So, there's and you do see it's a little dirtier here. Not as well kept up as some like the high class areas. But you end up going into this inn, and as you walk in, you see this is just a very plain inn. You walk in, and it's kind of a meeting area, a small meeting area right in the beginning, along with a desk with a young man sitting behind it. Hey, can I help you?
Yeah, we're looking for a tiefling about yay high, purple skin, way too confident for her ego.
Sorry, we're looking for the prospectors.
Yeah. Well, I can't really give out information on guests. Hold on. He
Just ask him.
You, hush.
Ask him that a blind man's here.
Yeah. Hold on. He gets up, and he goes off down a hallway. About 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 15, he finally shows back up. And he goes, okay, you can either, like, wait in the bar area if you want, or I'll go down and see them in their rooms. They told me it's okay. It's up to you. I mean, they'll if you want to go see them, that's fine. If you want to wait in the bar, they'll probably be there in a half hour. We're actually about to serve lunch. I mean, it's up to you.
How much alcohol do you have?
He reaches under the desk. He pulls out.
You didn't see it, but
tried...
I just died and looked at my other monitor like I was in the office.
he reaches under the desk and pulls up a bottle, and he looks at it, and it's a decent sized bottle. It's about half done. He says, "I've had this much so far."
Do you have any more?
He takes another swig. "Now I've had that much."
Wow.
Okay. How much do you have in the bar area?
Oh, the bar. Yeah. They got lots.
Sweet. And Diana's just gonna instantly walk over that way.
Oak is gonna walk up towards the innkeeper dude. He's gonna be like, "Hand it over, buddy." Motioning to the bottle. "You've had enough today, bud."
But this is my bottle.
I don't give a fuck.
He looks up at you. As number one, he's sitting down. Number two, you're pretty darn big. And he just kind of hands over the bottle. Like, okay.
The moment Oak is next to Diana again, she's gonna take the and just start chugging it.
No, actually, Oak goes outside and he throws the bottle.
Aw. Well, then, when they find Diana at the bar, she's chugging a bottle.
And
like
then
it's water.
And then he's gonna look at the innkeeper and be like, "Only water for the rest of the day. You got it, dude."
If I give you money, you give me
Okay.
liquor.
Okay. Okay.
I give you money, you give me liquor.
As soon as Oak goes, turns around and goes in the bar, he pulls out another bottle. All right.
When Oak is heading that way, Oak, can you hold on to Prim?
Yep.
Thank you for whatever Dinah hates when I can see, so when I'm talking to these people, just hold him.
Yep. And Oak will let Harim sit on his shoulder, and he'll give Harim some scritches.
Ah, yes, scritches to the tarantula.
Yeah, he likes it.
Yeah, well, Oak likes everything.
How many bottles does Diana manage to get through before they actually come downstairs? If she's pounding them the way
Oh
she
no,
did.
he's heading up to the room.
Yeah. So it totally depends on what happens. Because you just walked into the bar and Oak's now standing halfway before going into the bar.
Diana's gonna be pissed. You didn't tell her you're going to the room.
Oak will go over to Diana and he'll gently tap her back. He'll be like, "Okay, Jacob's going up to their room."
Of course he is, because he wants to fuck the goddamn tiefling.
I looked at my mother like I'm the opposite.
Why wouldn't he just tell me? No, he's just gonna wander off. And let me guess, he left him with you, so that way there's no fucking proof.
Would you like to hold on to the spider?
No!
So, as Jacob, as you are walking up the
Here's
hallway...
the thing, though. You're blind? They didn't tell you where the room is, so how the fuck are you gonna find it?
I'm getting there. Hold your horses. You're in the bar drinking, so shush. So, Jacob, as you start to kind of walk in the direction of the hall from where you last remember Frim looking in the direction, so you kind of use that keen mind of yours to go, okay, I was facing this way, so if I turn this way, I can head that way, and that's going to go down the hall. As you're walking down, starting to walk that way, you hear a gloop, gloop, gloop. Oh, you're going to their room?
That's the plan.
Okay. It's all the way down the end of the hall. And turn right down the next hall. And then you go down near the end of that one. And it's the second to last door on the left.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
You should probably lay off the alcohol.
Got
It'll
it.
leave memory loss.
You say as you leave a drinking box at the bar.
It'll leave your memory
With a
loss.
giant tree.
Thank you. Glug, glug.
Okay. And he
Diana
is
has
going
supervision.
to put his hand on the right side of the wall. Is going to walk until the opening for the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And is then going to, go to the side of the hallway to the left side and just kind of go all the way to the end and then go back to the door that it's supposed to be.
Yeah, okay. So, while you're doing that, Diana, you managed to down a whole bottle in that one time.
You doubt her ability to drink it like water.
No. It didn't take him that long to get down there. So you downed a whole bottle in that amount of time.
And now on her second.
Yes.
Oak has put Harim on the table, and he's playing some sort of little hand game with Harim. Just screwing around with the spider.
Like patty cake?
Yeah, exactly.
Patty splat.
No, or
Oops.
No, Harim, it's like the hand slappy game where you're taking your hands out and you're waiting for someone to slap the top of their hand.
Oh yeah. You're doing that
And
with a
Oak-
spider.
Yeah, exactly. But Harim is surprisingly good at it, and Oak is hopelessly losing it.
So, question. How hard is this alcohol gonna hit her, and how fast? Because I don't know if you
Well-
guys have ever chugged a bottle of whiskey before.
We'll find out,
Oh no.
but we'll find out.
Eventually, Harim and Oak like start playing like poker or something somehow, and Harim is still beating Oak, and Oak is like, "Why?"
Those 8
Yeah,
hours, man.
This is why you don't gamble against Faye.
Eventually, you switch to dominoes, and you're really getting your ass kicked. All right. Okay. So, Jacob, you finally do arrive at the door. You're pretty positive that based on the directions, this is the door that he told you.
All right, I knock.
And you hear, "Come in."
All right, I walk in.
And you hear, "Ah, I remember you." And it's the voice of the Dragonborn.
Yes, the Dragonborn, correct?
Yes, Sacris.
Nice to meet. Sorry, blind.
Yes. No problem. It was Jacob. Right.
Yes.
Jacob. Is
Sacris is Dragonborn. She's okay. Got to learn all the names.
and
You're trying so hard to stay sitting up, buddy, and you just can't, huh? My dog's next to me on the couch and is trying so hard to remain sitting up, but his paws keep sliding.
Aw.
Yeah, you're a good boy, aren't you?
So he Sacris is
Ow, don't paw me.
here, please. Let me help you. Have a seat. And he reaches out and you kind of feel him put his hand on kind of your elbow and kind of directs you to a chair.
All right. Okay, and I'll sit down. Cool. Is anyone else here, or is it just you, Sacred?
Well, right now, the rest are out tending to some business while I guard the body.
Right. Does it smell bad?
No,
Okay.
not at all. And did you say that out loud?
No. No, that was me asking
it's-
the question.
No, and you would remember from before that Sacris is a cleric, and you've heard of spells that can preserve the dead so that they can be transported for a proper burial.
Right.
You've heard of that stuff before, and clerics are usually the ones who specialize in that kind of stuff. So he's like, "Yes, I'm guarding our friend."
Right. Again, terribly sorry about that. I wish things could have gone differently for you all.
Yes, well, we as well wish it was different, but such is the way that life goes. You're here one day, you're gone the next. And only hope that in your passing, you make an impact in the life that you have.
Right.
So what can I do for you?
Well, I have 2 questions.
That I have 2 answers.
One, and Jacob's gonna pull out, and he's going to minor conjurate again because, woo, fun ability.
All
Wait,
right.
can hold on, I have to make sure I can. Pretty sure I can. Yeah, I can do it again. He's gonna make another tablet, the jumbled letters again. Just
Okay.
do you have any idea what this thing is?
You feel the tablet being lifted out of your hands. And you... And you kind of get the sense that he's studying intently what you've handed him, and it seems a long moment with a couple.
I have
And
no
then
idea what this says.
and then he finally says, "I haven't the slightest."
All right, that's fine. And it just goes.
When you did that, all my brain thought of was the Animal Crossing noise when your toll breaks.
That's what happens to friends.
And Oak understands the noise I'm referring to.
Yep. It's a very sad noise.
Just pooh.
All right.
Um,
Next
question.
Yes.
What do you remember of the battles between North and South Cut?
You speak of some very bloody times.
Trust me, I know. And,
As do I. I was there. I remember. What is it you wish to know, specifically?
I forget which...
You kind of broke up there.
No, I said, I'm sorry, I forget. Which side were you on?
I was a mercenary. I was on the side of Southcut. And I was young and stupid.
Aren't we all?
Should have never gotten involved in that.
I had some, more personal stakes than that.
Really?
I was Southcut as well.
Care to elaborate?
I was under the commanding officer of Dive Run.
Really?
Yes.
Had a few run-ins with that one. Not the most pleasant that I have come across. Let's just say he and I were of very differing opinions on things.
Oh, good. That's very good. And Jacob is like, kind of like, he's got his arm grabbing, he's got his hand grabbing like his bicep region and just holding it tensely.
Like kind of like white knuckle almost, or?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's a very good thing. You all are differing.
All right. He actually notices you doing that.
Mm-hmm. He's not trying to hide it.
Yeah. He says, so you served under him.
Unfortunately.
As you hear this big sigh. I've seen what he's done to many. And let me take a wild guess. You weren't born blind.
No, I wasn't.
His doing.
He will undo the green bandana.
It's blue.
It is blue.
Yeah, it's blue right
No,
now.
it's blue right now. I forgot. Look, it's normally. Here, look. He undoes the blue bandana. A
All
nice, silky, beautiful blue bandana that was made.
Mm-hmm.
And shows the kind of slanted scar that goes across from
Okay, quick question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though she's drinking, Diana's very neurotic about Jacob, so she would have been trying to keep essentially a quote-unquote ear out for his emotions, to put it lamely.
Okay, don't know if you're going to be able to notice anything from how far away you guys are. You're a good 100 feet away from each other through several walls.
Yeah, but all of her focus is purely on him.
Trying to remember how your bond works.
Essentially, it's close enough to where he could use her as a like Rim. They're close
Okay,
enough
that's
if
right.
needed. He could use
If
her
needed.
like Rim.
If needed. Okay, so
Yeah.
let me ask this. What is your focus right now, Jacob? What are you focused on, and what are you feeling?
Jacob would be focused on the battle that had happened, and only emotions, kind of just anger.
Okay. All right.
And it's like seething anger.
All right. Go ahead, Diana, and roll a perception.
Would it be perception or insight?
This is perception, to perceive that something is happening.
25, nat 20.
Yep. Okay. I'll definitely give you that. So, even despite the alcohol haze that is starting to kick in, you kind of get a sense that Jacob is right now very emotional, and it's anger.
Diana, the moment she senses that,
he's pissed off.
Yeah, the moment she senses that, she's just gonna sit down however far she is into the second bottle, toss a random amount of gold coins on the counter she's not even carrying, and just go straight to the room. Like she's not even gonna knock. She's not gonna ask anything. She's just gonna go straight in the room and plop down next to him.
Okay, are you walking or running?
She'd probably run.
Okay, so
Oak is too busy losing to her rim in poker.
okay, that was my next question. Okay, so the way this is going to play out is I will tell you when you get there, Diana, because basically, you just noticed this feeling at the
Same time he took the blindfold off.
Yeah, actually, just a moment after that, when he finally set it down and he's showing this scar to Sacris. And Sacris is just sitting there, kind of looking at you.
So because I don't think I've ever described it. So here you go.
Yeah, you have. Just you only did it in our thing.
Yep. I know I've described it, but I'm saying
my bad.
Jacob hasn't.
Stream describing.
Yeah.
So you see a cut that is slightly slanted from one eye all the way across to the other. It goes through the bridge of his nose. You can see what his eyes used to be a slight green, kind of has more of a gloss and a white to it.
Mm-hmm.
And the pupil and iris are like split from where the cut was gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks rough. It looks awful.
And you hear Sacris, you hear some movement, and then you hear him say, "I'm sorry. No man deserves that." I wish there was something I could do to help you with that.
I don't know what deity allows and doesn't. I want to know if I could have the Frostbreaker's backs with mine if I go after him.
I've seen what he's done firsthand. You tell me when, I'll be there for sure. I cannot say for the others, but I wouldn't doubt that they would follow me as well. At that point, Diana, is when you walk through this door, see Jacob sitting in a chair opposite a chair with the Dragonborn in it, and that's where he is.
The moment Diana sees the blindfold in his hands, her ears are just gonna fold back and she's just gonna go over to Jacob and take it out of his hands and go, I'm not gonna ask aside from what the fuck you think you're doing, and just tie it back over his eyes silently.
And Sacris says to you, he says, he was just asking a question. And talking over
anything that pertains to
stories.
that shouldn't have just been brought up in casual conversation. And it's very obvious how protective of him she is.
Yep, yeah. And Sacris looks at you and says, and I never said this conversation was casual.
It never is with you people.
And what have I done to you to deserve such ire?
Not you specifically.
Then do not lump me in with those that you have ill wishes against.
Excuse me if I'm not exactly in the mood to deal with the shit.
He turns,
I'm sorry, drunk.
He turns his attention to you, Jacob, and he says...
And Diana's... I'm sorry, but if Jacob says that, Diana's just gonna look at him and go, you really think after what I just felt from you, I'm still having any kind of drunk effects right now?
I don't know. Maybe.
You're an idiot for a scholar.
And Sacris directs his attention back to Jacob, and he says, and as I told you, you tell me when, and I shall support you.
I appreciate that.
Regardless of your companion's feelings towards me and mine, I know I will be there to help, if you call.
I appreciate that. I have, I guess, one follow-up question to the last one.
Go right ahead.
You said you've seen things that he's done. Were you there?
When Diana hears that, her ears are gonna flatten further to where they're completely flush against her head now, and glance over to the Dragonborn before just shifting into her fox form and plopping into Jacob's lap.
Mm-hmm. He kind of... Interesting.
Can I make some sort of intelligence check for Oak to see how long it takes him to notice that Diana's left?
Yes. Hold on 1 second, though.
Got it.
So, as those questions come about from you, Jacob, you feel the scaled hand and claws gently lift one of your hands and bring it down onto his arm. And he says, see for yourself. Your fingers, as you touch his arm, you feel some very, very deep scars. Like they're not just like a scar, it's like a line of flesh in almost like a V shape has been torn away from his arm in one spot, and then he takes it to another, and you feel that there are several of those on his his arm.
Can Diana lightly paw at his arm and give him an apologetic look now that she knows what they're talking about?
Sure, you can do that. And he kind of looks at you and smiles, in the weird way that a dragon can smile. Dragon, and he takes one of his fingers and he just kind of scritches the top of your head a little bit, and then and while that's happening, Oak, go ahead and give me that intelligence check.
Oh boy, here we go.
Actually, just make a let's make it a perception check.
You got a 6.
Okay, so not quite yet. Okay, and Diana, something I want you to roll a perception check as well.
Another nat 20.
Oh my God! Roll 20 loves you tonight. You noticed this when you came in the room, but you didn't really register it right away because you were so focused on Jacob. But now that you're kind of going, oh shit, this is what's going on, then you're now kind of flooded with the information of what you saw in the room. The body of the Goliath is laying on the bed.
I knew it was the Goliath.
Behind.
Nobody
where
actually told me
Jacob's
which
sitting.
member died.
Yep. And
I didn't remember.
he is.
So
Yeah, he is laying there, with his arms crossed over him, and his greatsword laying on the bed beside him. And he looks like his body has been fairly well preserved as best as possible, but there are still, clearly many wounds from that look like large spider fang bites that have.
Well, now she just feels like shit.
And Sacris then he puts your hand back, Jacob, and he says, "That is just some of what he did."
Diana, even though she's gonna waste her shifty for the day, she'll turn back, still promptly not moving off of his lap.
Mm-hmm.
So he suddenly just has full body weight on him.
Good. All right. Okay,
It's like, ugh.
And she's gonna look at Jacob and very lightly smack the back of his head.
What?
No, you're gonna listen to me and you're gonna listen good. 1, when it comes to this shit, you know better than to just wander off without me if you know this is what you're gonna be talking about. We've discussed this multiple times. 2, you should have told me which of them fucking croaked. Sorry to put it in lame terms. Technically speaking, am kind of drunk.
Technically.
And 3, if you ever do this again, I am promptly biting your ankles and making sure you cannot walk without my assistance.
All right. To answer your first question, Oak was there.
No. I'm talking about you running off to come talk about this, and she'll just poke his nose without me with you.
All right.
You don't let me wander off in regards to the shit about the kingdom. You don't get to wander off about this.
I just needed some questions answered.
You should have told me.
I know. I'm sorry. And he's just gonna hold the fox in his lap.
Oh, she's full Dana, she said.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Or, Diana. She's full Diana size now.
Yeah.
They're
He
gonna
knows.
hold the fox.
All right. And you kind of hear as Diana, as you're saying all these things, you kind of hear.
And why are you laughing?
Nothing.
Lies and slander.
Somehow.
Give me an
somewhere.
Give me an insight check. Give me an insight check if you want.
Do it.
Yeah.
An inside check?
Yeah.
18!
18. Okay. All right. So.
So, somehow from somewhere, Oak goes. Oak.
Sneezes and suddenly
Denial.
denial.
Let me do it. Stop ruining it for me.
Ren just kind of cocks his head with all of his 8 eyes, looking at Oak like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, I got this cough, man. It won't. I mean, I know it'll go away soon, but I think it'll just go away when Jacob and Diana finally get together.
Rem just nods. I forgot you have decence. You can just talk to him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, Oak totally casts speak with animals, so you can talk. So you can talk to Harim.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Rem can speak.
No.
No, I'm sorry. The moment she sees that, she's so thankful Jacob's blind right now because her entire face is bright fucking red.
Yeah.
And she's just gonna lay her head on his shoulder and just hide.
Okay. All right. And yeah. Yeah. Oh.
While pointing at the Dragonborn. While pointing at the Dragonborn going, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, Oak, you can now actually play Uno with Rim. Now you can talk to him. So.
Yes, we're playing Uno now.
But you have
Oak doesn't understand
This
the numbers.
sounds like a very fun gig.
yeah, you have to be real careful though, because I mean, with 8 legs, Frim may be kind of sneaking some cards easily.
But no, every once in a while, Oak will turn a card over to her, and he's like, "Is this the number on the top of the pile?"
No,
Let's see. Yeah, there you go. I was waiting for the Rim voice.
And then Oak just starts trying to okay, go with the colors, buddy. Just
Reverse,
no matter-
reverse, skip, draw 4, draw 2, Uno, draw 2.
And then
Oh
Oak
my
just looks
God.
at her and just I can crush you, right?
Yes. That's what makes it exciting.
Ah,
Then I get to go home and see family.
All right.
do you want to go home and see your family? Because I can help you with that right now.
I mean, I do not think that is most viable. Coin is low for Jacob.
Okay.
All right.
You
So.
don't really understand coin, do you?
No, not at all.
So Sacris looks over at the two of you again, and he addresses you, Jacob, and says, "Is there anything else?"
I'm on a personal.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, while Jacob mid-sentence, Dinah's gonna interrupt him and suddenly sit up and go, by the way, how do you feel about stealing something? And just look at the
Depends.
Dragonborn.
That depends.
So, if we were to hypothetically ask you and the other Frostbreakers, as much as I don't want to deal with the goddamn tiefling, and it's like, that's how it becomes obvious who her issue is with and why. And And she's going to continue with, hypothetically speaking, if we ask you in the icebreakers, frostbreakers, words not working at the moment, for help breaking into a really snooty lady's house and stealing a religious relic to try and take care of something on our end, what's the chances of you saying yes?
When would this be?
Tomorrow night at the manor where the masquerade ball is?
I'm afraid we cannot.
Damn.
Tomorrow night is our ceremony for Uthgard. And that is
Sorry
gone.
helping us caused...
No sorries. You should have seen his face. He died as he would have wanted. Battling evil. And saving others. As crazy as that bastard was, he had a big heart. Especially for Mask.
I thought, and Diana's just gonna, like, point in the air where Mask might have been standing and then points at Jacob and then gets such a confused look on her face.
I told you earlier about this.
You did not? No, you didn't.
I said that she's not going to be very important right now because she has some other things going on.
Denial!
You could have told me that the Goliath died. What? Sorry, no offense.
None taken.
I mean, entirely fair. It would have been nice to know, seeing as I tried to fuck him too. And then you got all pouty and huffy, and I'm surprised you didn't cockblock me again.
You fell for their game, didn't you?
Look.
Those two.
I said I don't want... And she's gonna point to Zacharias and be like, I just told you, I don't want to hear it. I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't know what you're referring to, and it's not happening.
Those two.
No. Wait,
always pulling that shit. I'm gonna miss him. Always the jokester. Her too.
I don't call how seducing somebody else's team member a joke, but you know.
You say that out loud?
Yeah, just under her breath.
As pretty as you are, Uthgard never would have done that. He was playing. Same with Mask. She never would have betrayed his trust like that. They did that as a game. To see who would break first, and let's just say there were many a night of angry sex between those two.
And Diana's just gonna sigh and be like, God, the last time I had angry sex was so long ago.
Jacob is going to put away the thought of the giant Goliath man wrecking his shit from being angry.
And Diana's just gonna go, oh, I could have slept with a Goliath. Damn it.
Oh my god. I did the office thing again.
Yeah.
But,
And no, immediately without thinking, because let's face it, she's had an entire bottle and a half of whiskey, and I have a feeling by now it would have started kicking in.
Oh yeah.
She's just gonna look at Jacob and smack his chest and go, why aren't you ever that possessive over me?
what?
You never get huffy and angry over me.
I mean, I quite literally have, especially with the
Since when?
Goliath.
No, you didn't.
I check up on you, you make sure you're okay, and
You don't check up on me, you cockblock me. I hope Jacob can't see her face, so he doesn't know how drunkenly flushed she suddenly got instantaneously.
Oh.
And now she's gonna be like, maybe drinking an entire bottle of whiskey in a single go probably wasn't the best idea.
No, it usually isn't.
But you ran off again.
I didn't run off far. You were always
ran off.
going.
You didn't tell me where you were going. You ran off.
You made fun of me.
Jacob.
I didn't make fun of you. I told the truth. None of us have friends.
Yes, Sakras.
I would recommend you get some food into this one to soak up that alcohol rather quickly.
I would agree.
No, we're not done talking.
Hold on. We can continue this as
No,
we're
this conversation isn't over.
I'm not saying it's going to be over, just for a second. I have a thing to ask again.
Of course you do. You always have questions. You always have to ask everything. But you never ask the fucking important ones.
What is the important one?
Well, it doesn't matter now, does it?
Well, if it's so important, then
You're the scholar. You're supposed to know everything.
okay, and you're the snooty princess who gets what she wants, so...
I am not snooty!
He just fucking smiles.
You take that back, and she's gonna start, tugging at his cheeks.
Come on, I need...
I am not snooty! You know for a damn fact I'm not snooty.
Yeah, I don't think you're that snooty.
That's snooty.
In between just being pulled by his cheeks. He's going to...
Take it back right now!
Yeah. Sakras, do you know anywhere that I could... anything that I could find that could boost my magical capabilities for when I run back into that commander?
I was just gonna turn him into a popsicle.
That he would deserve.
Well, because look at it this way: if he turns into a popsicle, I can just leave the head exposed, and then he can just break it off tiny piece by tiny piece.
I would pay to see that.
Dismemberment.
Yes.
Dog?
As far as what you ask,
And
your
drunken Diana is gonna go, why don't we just use the stone on him?
what stone?
Oh,
I mean, it zaps life force, doesn't it?
I don't know what to mean.
I thought that was in your book.
He kind of gives you this strange look of what the hell
And
are you
Diana's
talking
gonna
about?
turn to Sakras, have to grab onto Diana's shoulder so she doesn't fall off his lap and go, so there's this really big bad stone thing, and it's apparently able to destroy the world, and hence why we need help breaking into this house to steal a bunch of knuckle bones, so that way we can help the church to seal up the stones so it doesn't destroy the world, because it literally sucks out the entire life force of everything around it, and we somehow got roped into trying to help the other two people in our party actually figure out where all of this stuff is to get it situated. But if we just keep the stone and use it on the commander, then
Diana, please. Shush.
He leans forward a little bit, and he's looking at you, Jacob, and you hear him say, "As I said, this one needs food. There's way too much alcohol in her system right now."
I know.
You think I'm making it up, don't you?
All I know is that what you asked, Jacob, I am not familiar with the arcane arts, so increasing your abilities, I'm not sure, other than just practice and perseverance in your studies.
Alright.
Mine all just come from faith in my God. So it's a different thing. Not
Hey,
quite.
Quick
the same.
question. If So, you're not batshit crazy or annoying. How come Rhea is, and she deals with the same, like, magical god stuff? Can you teach her to, like, put a lid on it?
You mean the sorceress? Yes.
The tiny one that keeps lighting everything on fire and doesn't listen for a rat's ass?
She's a child. She'll learn.
Yeah, and when we treat her like a child, she gets all huffy and angry. But when we treat her like an adult, she gets all huffy and angry. So at this point, I'm tempted to just eat her into the river.
Food is required for her. And and patience. The young one, she'll learn.
Yeah, well, if she doesn't learn soon, I'm gonna shove my tail down her throat and make her eat fur.
That's oddly specific.
You are just as annoyed. I don't want to hear it.
All right. So, as he kind of stands up, which you're taking as a kind of a clear indication that, you know, hey, he's answered a lot of questions and he's got a lot to think about right now. And says, "You're welcome back anytime, but I think I need some time alone for a little bit. I need to pray on all that we've talked about."
Of course. Do what you must.
Yes. Let us know how your heist goes.
Of course.
I'm sorry that we cannot be of help, but the timing of everything we are doing must be done as it is. And he, kind of walks you to the door as you head out and gives you a nod as you start walking back down the hall. I assume you eventually are going to make your way back to the bar where there's food and Oak and Hrim.
After walking, Diana, you really...
And somehow Harim has a lot of Oak's money.
I mean, I'm not going to say no.
Hey, it's for spell components.
Sitting on top of like a small pile of Oak's money.
It's for spell components, right?
It's my money now. As they're walking back, Diana, you really, really, really need to hold back words. I understand that we just had a conversation with this person about that very deep things, but we don't need to elaborate on everything that we are doing with everyone. Well, with him, rather.
What? I didn't do anything wrong.
You gave out some specific information that very few people know?
You were asking for his help anyway.
I was asking for what now? I'm sorry?
You were asking for his help anyway.
Yes,
I thought you were blind, not deaf.
I was asking for his help about the heist. That's not... Well,
and the heist has to do with the stone.
You don't need...
She's not wrong.
And if they know what actually we're doing for the heist, maybe they're more likely to help.
Maybe they're more likely to steal it for their own game. We don't know how they are.
You're the one who came to them!
Well, yes, because they seem decent. I trust them enough.
But when I bring something up to try and get their help, suddenly we can't trust them and it's not a good idea.
When did you ever bring up their help?
Why do you think? Oh my god. Ah! And she's just gonna start falling off. And without thinking, she's gonna yell, and this is why you sleep on the floor half the time.
This is why I sleep on the floor half the time.
Oh my goodness.
No, this is why Oak sleeps on the floor all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
No,
like an
very-
old married couple. Oh. Oh my gosh. All right, so
Get back to the bar.
okay.
And not gonna lie, she's gonna get maybe 5 steps away from Jacob and just kind of sway and then plop and sit on the floor going, "The world needs to stop spinning. I don't allow it."
Jake will walk up and pick her up.
No, I'm mad at you.
Not too bad. You need to walk. Either
Rude.
walk or get carried.
Carrie.
All right. And Jacob will.
I want a piggyback ride.
Um,
My gosh.
all right. Jacob will get in front of her so that she could get on as a piggyback.
The moment she's on his back and properly situated to where she won't fall off, she's just gonna probably like enter a half asleep state now.
All right. So you end up
All right.
eventually making your way into the bar with a kind of half-conscious Diana on your back, and somehow, and now that you can actually watch your progress through Hrim's eyes as he's kicking Oak's ass in Uno for money,
Her face is so red.
and you can plop down and have a seat, and food is brought out, and eventually the rest of lunch goes pretty well, and you all get some food to eat. Even
There's
you,
nothing
Diana.
like being day drunk.
Yep. Even you, Diana, managed to kind of half consciously, realize, ooh, food, and shovel some into your mouth. But eventually
Can we
you
just
make
make
your
it
way.
clear that the table they're sitting at, she does not accept the chair, but is still sitting on Jacob?
Yeah.
Although made it very clear, I'm still mad at you.
Oak has most definitely lost a large portion of his money to Corinne.
So how much is that money?
I don't know. Jason, how much is that money?
Oh, how much
much
do
is
you
it?
have?
You should
How much-
roll for it.
Yeah.
and
How much
see.
do you have?
I have altogether 495 gold.
495 gold. Okay, so
And you
roll-
have to remember,
roll-
Oak doesn't understand coin
I
amount.
know. Roll 5d100.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Well, you can actually slash.
I know,
R.
I know,
Okay.
I know. Just give me this, dude.
Okay.
Just give me this.
Alright.
Dude.
Two.
All right.
Okay.
So 169, 189, plus 55. So that is 244.
You lost 244 gold. Nice.
Cool.
There's 244 gold in the bank. I will take that.
All right. So.
I just love the image of Oak playing poker with a spider, losing all
Yes.
of his money.
Yeah. All right. So the day kind of wears on. Eventually, you guys all make it back to your hotel. And it's getting kind of late, and you see Rhea pops in and goes into Oak and Rhea's room.
Wait, we aren't at that tavern.
No, I'm saying you left.
Oh, I
and
didn't
went,
hear that.
And went back to your inn. And then you get to your rooms. And, that evening, Rhea comes back. And you all end up going to sleep. No, it's, a fairly restful night. In fact, Diana, you are so far beyond conscious that you're probably going to have difficulty wanting to get up in the morning due to a severe hangover. And that's exactly what happens in the morning. You wake up, you're not feeling good. Jacob, you're fine. Oak, you're fine. Rhea seems fine. And you realize you have basically it's you kind of slept in late, all of you. Not just Diana, but she may not wake up for another couple hours yet after most people get up. But you slept in till about like 9:30 or 10 in the morning. So you realize that you've really only got about a good 10, 11 hours before the masquerade ball officially starts.
You only... Oh, I thought you were saying 10, 11 hours of sleep. I'm like, oh, that's such a
Nope.
small amount.
Nope, 10, 11 hours before the ball starts. So
can
you
I
need
do
to
a long
figure out-
rest?
Oh yeah, y'all have a long rest. I mean, you guys rested. You get all your spells back. Nothing interfered with that. But you are
Yeah, I have my shifting back.
you have about 10 to 11 hours worth of time to deal with overcoming a hangover, to finalize any plans that you might have, and getting last minute preps done. Because then it will be time to leave for the masquerade ball. So, for those who are awake right now, which would be Oak and Jacob, what do you want to do right now?
Why am I not conscious?
Because
you
still out
drank
cold.
way too much.
You're probably gonna be another
but
hour
here's
or two.
The thing, though.
You have to suffer the side effects, okay?
Here's
Yep.
the thing. I drank at lunchtime, and then I ate food. By the next morning, she'd be fine.
Not what you drank. You didn't specify exactly what you ordered. You said,
I said
what's there
whiskey.
to drink? After I had already given you a bottle.
Rude.
You gotta watch what kind of drink you're getting, and just regular whiskey isn't gonna cut it. Not in a place like that.
Alrighty.
That's orc whiskey, man.
Jacob will. Hey, Oak. You're good at sewing, right?
That's a dumb question.
Well, I guess so.
Jacob asks while Oak is like fixing up one of his like fixing up a hole in his pants.
I wanted to see if you can make this a little bit more elegant. I don't know. I don't want to, for the lack of better words, mismatch with Diana.
What am I making elegant?
The outfit I'll be wearing at the masquerade.
Oh, yeah, it already looks fine.
Oh. All right.
You look like a goddamn wizard, dude.
Pull out the jacket that is meant to go with it.
Yeah, Oak will pull out the jacket, you know, he's like one of those fashion stylist, personal stylist people. That's just like, this is the jacket that goes with it, you dumbass. Put it on top, and then you'll look fabulous.
Oh, okay. And Jacob will put it on. And
You're gonna put it on now?
wants to see what it looks like.
Okay, but then you gotta take it off because then we gotta make sure it doesn't wrinkle and make sure you don't get any stains on it. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a panic attack.
So I was gonna try it on for a second and look at it. I think it looks nice. Cool. All right. Hopefully we're ready for this.
Can Diana please yip in her sleep?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Like, she's in her human form, but she's yipping in her sleep.
All right,
And
and
Oak
as
was like,
oh, go ahead.
Oak hears Diana doing that, and he's like, ugh. She's like one of the little kids in my tribe. They do that all the time in their sleep, and it's so annoying.
And
Funny.
as you two are kind of working on the, straightening the jacket on Jacob, and Diana's yipping a little bit in her sleep. You hear a knock at the door.
Jacob.
Would that wake her up?
Yep.
Diana's just gonna kind of jolt awake and go, I didn't steal the muffin!
Okay. And
Wait,
Jacob.
Before the knock at the door, like as like Oak was like talking like about like how the little kids and his tribe, he's just like he offhandedly goes asks Jacob, "Did I ever tell you about that story?
Just
I
a
almost
bit longer.
that time I almost
Longer.
killed a kid."
What? Hold
Not
on.
what I expected to wake up to, guys.
Jacob, still in the elegant jacket cape suit thing, is gonna go over to the door.
All
Gonna
right.
go.
All right. As you open the door, you see Galder standing there before you, and he says, "Hi guys," and that's where we're going to end
Diana's just
tonight.
Diana's gonna throw her arms up and go, seahorse!
And that is where we are ending tonight. So, once again, still haven't gotten to the masquerade ball, but we have gotten to a point where, guess what? There's a extremely good possibility that Galder is actually going to be here next week, which is why, ta-da, he's here. So that means
Oh
that
god, I have
you
to
may,
change the plan.
you may have, well, you've got 10, 11 hours worth of day to work on the plan. So there you go. You've got a whole week out of game to discuss it and figure it out. And you can now include Galder in it, and he can be another cog in the wheel. But use all the information that you have gotten so far. Use the time you've got to come up with your final plans, and then hopefully we'll finally get to this masquerade ball next week. So thank you anyone who is watching. Awesome that for everyone that came in and spent time watching the show and is in the chat. We really appreciate it. If you guys liked what we're doing here on this channel and you want to show your support, you can please give us a follow, or you can cheer some bits, or you can subscribe. Those are some ways you can participate and show your support. We appreciate all those things. Also, showing up in chat and saying hi, we appreciate all that. So, those are different ways to do that. Also, if you missed, some of the stream or whatever, we put these out on the YouTube channel, which you can see in the chat. Our YouTube should be up there, and someone can put that up for us real quick so that you guys can see that. You can go to our YouTube channel and you can watch our episodes there. We've got all our past episodes that we've been able to put up are on the YouTube channel, so you can watch there. You can also go and check out the Discord and join the Discord. Join our Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. All those fun things. And we hope to see you next week. So, goodbye, everyone.